Good morning. How's everybody doing? Welcome in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is November 25th. It's Tuesday. 2 days until Thanksgiving here in the United States. It is now 5:14 in the morning. Welcome in. Thank you for being a part of today's walk and talk. Thank you for considering this channel and being here. I'm going to get started today on this walk and talk. Today's walk and talk is very distinctive. Today's focus, and what we're going to talk about is the difference between discipline and restraint. You don't move forward by refusing to do things. You don't grow by the things you stop doing. You grow by the things you start doing with discipline. If the objective is to become better, to be stronger, to do more, to achieve at a higher level, you do that by becoming disciplined. It's not about the actions we take away. It's not about the things we refuse to do. It's not about the things we don't like. It's about the things that we do, the things we implement, and the way we grow. This morning, we're going to talk about taking action. Action that sees us become stronger, become better, and grow. We're not changing, we're growing. And that growth requires us to invest in us. So thank you this morning for being here on this walk and talk. Let's grow together. You have this within you, as we all do. It takes focus on doing the next thing. And this morning, let's do it. As always, guys, when you stop in, make sure you drop down in the chat where you're checking in from, what time of day it is where you are, what's going on with you, how you're feeling. Just so you know, I am real. This is not AI, it's not pre-recorded. So we can talk this morning. Again, today is Tuesday. It is the 24th, 25th. Man, November's flying. Of November. I'm here on the East Coast. I'm in Maryland. Thank you for stopping in. Good morning. What's up? What does that say? Pretty sure the labored breathing tells us you're real. Not always, man. You can get labored breathing from AI. But that was an unnecessary shot. It's early in the morning. I'm walking up a hill. You see this? I'm walking up a hill. You better not be laying down typing that comment. You better at least be standing up. No, it isn't. Good morning. Out here walking and talking this morning. Thank you for being here, guys. Y'all know how positive I am, man. Don't start the day with shots. You know, taking shots first thing in the morning. As always, guys, we're out here for positivity, growth, discipline, and development. It is not as cold as it was last week. I'm up here in Maryland, man. Last week had me thinking the government shut down the heat. Like, did they turn the heat off as a part of the government shutdown? They were like, oh, government shut down, there is no fall. How y'all gonna go? How we gonna have 2 days of fall and go straight to winter? Man, I was like, y'all being petty. We know you're out there trying. Nah, that's not my MO, not anymore. But every once in a while, catch one of you lames out there, man. What? Nah, that ain't my thing, man. How y'all doing this morning? Take our shoes. Good morning. Happy birthday. Welcome in this morning. Thank you for being here. Job number one is always yourself, people. Well, the work you do is always you. It starts there. A job is what you do in exchange for getting money. Let me see, what else y'all saying? Good morning, peace and blessings to you. Don't dance, but thanks for talking. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. All right, guys, it is now 5:19 in the morning. I'm up here at the top of the hill, my little community. Let's take a look. Thank you so much, guys, for being here this morning. Again, we're going to talk this morning about growth and development. We're going to talk about the difference between taking action and restraining ourselves from things. They both have a degree of discipline, but the important thing is to understand that when you are taking action, you're working on growth. When you're taking restraint, you're working on a different area of discipline, which is just a simple control of yourself, right? One of the things that I want to make sure we're understanding is that when we do this, we are saying to ourselves that that what we're doing is not just about trying to change, right? Not just trying to be different, but to be working towards a purpose and a goal. Contrary to popular belief, discipline is not just about, oh, you have to control your urges, you have to control your thoughts, you have to limit yourself to what you allow in. And a lot of people believe that they can discipline themselves and grow themselves. Sorry, this wind is up a little bit this morning. They believe they could discipline themselves simply by locking themselves away. And here's the problem with that, is the less that you expose yourself to, the less of the experience of living that you allow to happen in your life, the fewer opportunities you have to learn and to take control and to grow. So it's not just about the restraint. There is an element of discipline in being able to develop a specific type of discipline, which is delayed gratification, that is very beneficial. But the primary focus for discipline is not about what you stop yourself from doing, but what you train yourself to be able to do on a regular basis, right? It's not just about what you walk out and say, hey, I'm not going to do this, but it's the things that you wake up and you say, hey, this is what I am going to do. Here is how I am going to be active and engaged in my own life. So good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. Let's get up and get ready for the day. Hey, as always, guys, when you check in, drop in where you're checking in from, what time of day it is, where you are. Let's talk about positive things. Let's talk about growth. Let's actually be focused on the things that we can do to change our lives in a positive way and grow. Because ideally, as people, we don't want to look for ways to change ourselves. We want to look for ways to grow, right? Ways to improve. So good morning. Hey, how are you doing? 4:30 a.m. in Houston. Welcome in. Wow, y'all just had tornadoes? Not as bad as a hurricane, is it? Waking up in the morning, what's the technique? The technique for getting up in the morning, people, is fairly simple. Wake up when your body wakes you up. Many of us are We fight when our body wakes us up. If you find yourself waking up in the morning and then trying to force yourself to go back to sleep, trying to figure out how to not be up, you want to change that approach. If you're waking up in the morning, your body is up and it's ready to start doing things. Find something, identify the things that you need to get done prior to going to bed. Write it down on a little list, little piece of paper. So when your body wakes you up, that moment when you get up and you go to lay back down, and then you lay down and you go, and your body doesn't want to let you go back to sleep, find that thing to do. Start doing that thing. Now, what'll happen is one of two things. It doesn't have to be something super strenuous. It could be, hey, body wakes me up, I'm studying, I need to get some reading in on this thing that I'm studying. So I'm going to pick this thing up and I'm going to start reading this book. Or maybe it's, I'm working on something. I need to write these words down about this thing that I'm thinking about and I'm writing. Whatever it is, go to work on that thing. One or two things are going to happen. You're going to be highly productive and you're going to be able to get that done, or you're going to go back to sleep. And when you go back to sleep, you're going to wake up refreshed. You're going to wake up ready to go. That's the key. For a lot of people, we fight that, and then we find ourselves constantly looking for a way to wake up. Thank you for checking in. 4:30 in the morning. That was in Houston, New York, 5:24. What's up, New York? Where you from? Where you from? Oh, you are upstate. All right. No problem. Thank you. That's why you can't stay on the live long. Why? Because you find something to do? Go back to sleep? Welcome in. Thank you for popping in, Wisconsin. All right, guys. And so what we're talking about today is part of that thing about waking up, part of what we do. I want to thank you for being here again, guys. The focus on development and growth starts with getting started, right? And when we look at things, for most of us in our lives, and we're trying to make positive change and grow, when we're trying to do that, we're looking at that and saying, okay, I want to make positive change, I want to grow. We always look at the things in our lives that we want to remove, right? Very rarely, and I correlate things and use sports analogies very often, simply because your body is the first thing that gives you the ability to challenge what you believe, or what you know, or what you think. Your body is yours, and from a very young age, it gives you the ability to say, okay, what am I capable of? And then you can go out and you can say, can I run? Can I run faster? How many push-ups can I do? Like, how can I use this gift of my physical ability or my existence in this physical form to challenge what's possible? And so when you go out and you say to yourself, hey, I can challenge myself, it gives your mind the ability to start to understand, to absorb, and to work with that reality, to work in that space and in that realm, to say, hey, I'm capable of quite a bit. I can be very strong. I can be very resourceful. I can grow beyond what I thought I could. Welcome in from Portland. Families from Jersey, all right? And so here's the thing. When we look at trying to grow and do things, it's not about what we're taking away, it's about what we're adding. It's about what we're contributing to. It's about what we're committing to, right? And I think the best way I can share it with you is to understand, to stop doing something, you have to stop, right? And stopping is not about growth, right? Stopping things doesn't grow you. It reduces you. It diminishes you. And so what do we have to do? Well, we have to look at where we're trying to go. And of course, there are things that we could do that can get in the way of us getting there. But they're not getting in the way of us getting there just because we're doing them. They're getting in the way of us getting there because they're not helping to get closer to where it is we're trying to go. So now, let's take a few moments to consider this. When we look at any goal, fitness goal, physical goal, mental goal, a lot of people try to do it with their diets, emotional goals. We always talk about, man, I'm gonna stop letting women control me. I'm gonna stop letting men take advantage of me. I'm gonna stop letting my family shame me. I'm gonna stop doing it. And so, and we always look at those things that we're stopping, but here's the really bad part, especially when it comes to relationships, is we're saying we're gonna stop doing these things, but all of them are in relationship to stopping our response to somebody else's behavior, right? Did we hear all of those things? Like, I'm gonna stop letting someone control me. I'm gonna stop letting someone belittle me. I'm gonna stop. So we're trying to stop our response to other people's behaviors, right? Here's the challenge with trying to stop your response to other people's behavior. You are not considering your own behavior. We're looking at being reactive to what other people are doing, right? Versus I'm going to be more vocal in my relationships. I'm going to engage on a more positive level. I'm going to direct my energies and thoughts towards growth and positivity. I'm going to love out of the abundance of necessity to love, not out of an expectation of how I'll be loved back. And so now we're saying these are behaviors, these are actions we're going to take. I'll tell you what, you want to get sucky people out your life? You want to change bad relationships? Start being a good person. Start doing it. Listen, if you're on your job, and this is, I've been on both sides of this, dude. If you're on your job and you want to get people out of your life who do not, who don't do their job, who sit around while you do your work, you want to figure out how many of your work buddies, your job buddies are really focused on getting the job done well and their growth and their development. Read your company's SOP. Read your company's standard operating procedures, and then start living by a couple of them. Standard operating procedures require that 15 minutes before our shift begins, we blah 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 blah, and then do it. You want to see a leader? Hey, we don't do overtime. Yes, but standard operating procedure means that it says the 15 minutes before I get here, before I start my day, I'm supposed to do these things. I can't do those things for free. So either you need to adjust when I need to be somewhere so that I can punch in and I have 15 minutes to prepare for that, or you need to allow for me to punch in 15 minutes early. Right? So you want to start seeing changes. Stop looking at things to take away. I used to work for this company when I was down in Texas. Working for this company, this was during COVID, and I can share this. I used to work for Best Buy, right? And I was a department manager in Best Buy. And during COVID down in Texas, they had come up with this requirement that before you enter the store, they were trying to switch to a personal shopping method, where everyone who came in shopped with someone. They had a personal shopper who would travel the store with them. And so, I don't know how much y'all know about Texas, but Texas treated COVID like it was a prank. Like it was, gotcha, we just kidding, y'all ain't really got it. Like Texas treated COVID like, man, stop playing. So if the government didn't, the citizens did. I mean, so many people was like, man, what's going on? Like, did y'all cancel Friday night's football game? But man, I'm going to the game. So Texas treated COVID like we ain't playing these games. And so I'm working for this company, and this is about what I did versus what I didn't do. And when they said we're going to this personal shopping method, every leader has a requirement to be at the door, and they put these stanchions up. And they said in order for you to come in, people had to come through these stanchions, and then if I'm on point, we put up we put a whole monitor up with customers' names. You could create appointments prior to the store opening online when you came in. If you wanted to shop, you had to speak to someone. I was the person on the door, and then you're supposed to stop. I have to ask you a series of questions. I have to assign you someone to work with. And then if you don't want to work with someone, even if you shop freely, you'll still need to come back up here for me to get you someone to assist you with whatever it is you want to get, because most things are at this time locked up or put away. Very few items are available on the floor. This was the approach they wanted to take. From the beginning, I'm like, it don't work. That's my mindset. I'm thinking it don't work. Now, I'm a leader for the company. I'm in a management capacity. And when you take on a job with the company and you're in a management capacity, your responsibility is to take the direction that you're given and use your capabilities as best as you can to make sure that that thing works. You understand what you're being asked, you implement it, right? That's your job. When you have a job and a company says do this, it's not your job to argue with the people above you who said do this. It is your job to understand what you've been instructed to do and then implement with the best of your ability this task. Okay, so that's what the goal is. So I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I did the opposite. So I didn't take action. I did the opposite, and I became resistant. I'm like, I don't think this is going to work, so I'm not going to do it. I don't think this is good, so I'm not going to do it. And so I just didn't invest in doing it. Other leaders came to me. Finally, the market leadership came in, spoke to the general manager, said, this is how this has to work. They would put me on the door, and I would just let people go. They told me every leader has a responsibility to be on the door. And I'm watching other people do it, and I'm like, we're putting on a show. We're not actually doing this. What we're doing is we're getting just enough names in here. So here's the part we needed to understand, is that at a higher level, at the market level, these behaviors are being tracked. At a higher level, at the market level, these things are being calculated, and they're being used to determine how we're going to function moving forward. And so we're fudging the numbers. We're putting names in. We're like, okay, I just need to put your name down. That's good. Go ahead, enjoy yourself. No, it's fine. You don't need to. And so they're using the heat map and all of this other stuff to figure out how many people do we actually need to work in a store? How do we actually need to support our customers? What do we actually need to do in order to be able to reduce our overhead, which is labor, and still be able to meet the customer's need? Okay, so I understand that this isn't working for the way the company currently states it wants to do its business. Okay, so I looked at the mandate, I did my job. I told my general manager before I did it, I was like, this doesn't work for our store. I says, we have too much traffic. He's like, this is the job, this is what we're told to do. I was pulled aside. Dude, I'm a grown man. I was pulled aside, and I was basically told, this is what we're going to do. I said, everybody's going up there, no one is doing it. You're telling me to do something just to put on a show. I could be actually getting work done. I could actually be productive. I could be training my team. I could be working with customers. I could be getting results. And you want me up here playing games. So, got to the point where I said, okay, fine. I'm gonna do it. They put me on the door. Let me tell you. Remember, this is during COVID. They put me on the door. First person comes up, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Now, here's what you have to keep in mind, guys. I'm about 6'1", about 200, at that time, about 275 pounds. I'm about 290, almost 300 now. Got this little blue shirt on. I'm standing there, I look like a linebacker. Y'all remember those old videos of the office linebacker? I look like a Best Buy linebacker. And people in these stanchions would start wide and then narrow as they came. And I'm standing at the top of them. First person come in, welcome, how can I help you today? I'm looking to get some, no problem. So in our department, we have a couple of people. Take your name down. When they see your name, they're gonna get right to you. Is there anything specific that you're looking or you have questions about? All of these things are in the requirement to do. Boom, I'm putting the information in there. Got these little tabs you hit. First person. Second person, yes, welcome in. We just want to get batteries, no problem. You can get batteries, feel free to shop on your own. Many of the items are locked away today. You will still need to come back up when it's time for you to speak with someone. All right, no problem, boom. Third person, yes, how can I help you today? Can I shop by yourself? Most certainly can. In the specific departments, you give them the whole rundown. They were like, well, how do I speak to someone? I'm the person to help you speak with someone. Okay, what's your name, sir? Blah, blah, blah. Start checking in the information. While I'm working with this person, that little moment of resistance, that moment of, can I just do this by myself? Of course you can, right? A little moment of resistance, because remember what we're talking about right now is the difference between refusing, trying to remove something from your life. We're talking about the difference between stopping doing something versus doing something. And in this situation, I said, I'm not going to do this. I said, I'm going to stop. I said, my action will be inaction. That's the choice. I'm going to choose not to do this thing. And so when I tell you, man, less than 5 minutes, I had managers on both sides of the stanchion. Line was going out the door and around the corner. People was up there. They're like, man, what is happening? I'm like, listen, this is the job. This is how it's supposed to be done. This is what we've been told to do. It's not about me saying I refuse to do it. It's not about doing it in a way that it just makes it look good. It's not about fudging the numbers so somebody has something to count. Somebody somewhere is making a decision off of the behaviors that you choose to take. And when you refuse to take them, they don't know what the right answer is. I broke that system in less than 5 minutes. Not as an attempt to break the system. I broke the system because I did exactly what it told me to do. This is how discipline works. If you think that you're not capable of something, do it with the best of your ability. If you think somebody's telling you to do something and you think it doesn't work, do it exactly the way they tell you to do it. One of two things are going to happen. One, you're going to prove yourself right and you're going to find a better way to do it. Or two, you're going to prove yourself wrong and be the best at doing it. But they both require the same thing. They require you to do it at the best of your ability. It's what's required of us. We don't get to places in life by saying, I refuse to act. I refuse to take action. I want to take things away. No, we get to places in life by saying, I am determined. I am required to act. I will with everything in me invest completely into the behaviors and actions that lead to the outcome I'm looking for. That's good news. Thank you very much for stopping back in and checking in. I'd like to say thanks for the thumbs up gift from Don. What is that? Don Tion Blake. Also, thanks for the gift from 7K Miku. Thank you so much for those gifts, guys. I appreciate that. We are in a place constantly, people, where we have to look at not just what the things that we're saying we don't want to do, but the things that we're going to do to move forward. You should start where you are. Thank you again for the gift. I really appreciate that. That is from Make with Mike. Thank you, Make with Mike. I checked out your channel the other day, Make with Mike. Keep it up, man. Good job. You're doing, was it crafting or was it carpentry work for Make with Mike? I want to say this, guys. Everything that we're doing out here, handyman, yep. Handyman and animals, no problem, thank you. So, when we start talking about growing, right? Because it's not about changing. Everyone thinks it's about change. It's not about change. Change happens. Change can happen in a multitude of ways. You can do nothing and things around you can change. Thank you very much. But what needs to happen is growth. I'm not just looking for an opportunity or a time or a way or a moment to change something. We're looking for the growth that comes with it. We're looking for the development. And growing, right? Growing requires nurture. It requires action. It requires tending. All right? And so the thing that happens with discipline, and this is important, because the first thing that we incorporate into our financial plans and our financial development is the implementation of discipline. You can do it while building your financial future, but if you don't have it, you will find yourself falling off and missing the mark. And if you use discipline to work towards any goal for mastery, you are guaranteed to see success along the way. We can talk about all of the different types of loans and banks and purchases, endeavors, entrepreneurs, all of those things, and we get into it on our membership tiers. On our membership tiers, we have direct conversations, communications, and engagement about how to do that. The way it's done, the actions to take, the places to go, the things to do. But before we can get there, we have to talk about discipline. And everything starts with RPCP. Repetition, patience, consistency, and perseverance. It starts there because before we can be consistent at anything, we need to first understand how that thing works. This isn't about how do I stop doing something. It's about the question that was asked. Where do we start? You start where you are. Period. You don't have any other choice. Doesn't matter where you're going. Doesn't matter what you're working on. You cannot start anywhere else other than where you are. And get started. The easiest thing to do is get started. Right? What happens most often is we try to figure out how to get started, and we put in the work to start figuring out to figure out how to get started, that we put so much time into getting ready that we're never ready, even though we're already ready. As I say, you're never ready, and you're always ready. You're never ready for what it is you're going to achieve, because growth is continuous. You don't cap growth. but you're already ready for what you need to do in order to achieve what it is you would like to achieve, which means you must get started. We must get started. Step one in this process for growth and development is that we understand the things that we want to do have a requirement of us to get a basic understanding and then start. Trust me, so much of whatever it is you want to do is in the middle of doing it. Like there are lessons for whatever it is you want to do that you cannot learn until you start doing it. It's that simple. For so many aspects of life, it is so simple that you must first start doing that thing before you have any ability to understand how it is you're going to do that thing. It's interesting to me because I've lived the experience, right? So when I was young and I first wanted to be a lifeguard, the thing that had to happen, the thing that I had to realize is when I went to the pool, I wanted to be a lifeguard. I'm gonna date myself a little bit here. I wanted to be a lifeguard because there was this show on with this gentleman named David Hasselhoff and a young lady named Pamela Anderson. And they would run in slow motion. I wanted and I wanted to run in slow motion. Of course, I thought I was cute. Man, I was look. Plus, like when you're a lifeguard, like you're in power. I'm like, what? I get a whistle and little shorts. I get to yell, stop running to just anybody. Man, I need that. So I'm laughing because when I was young, I'm like, I've came up with so many righteous ways to explain my desire of being a lifeguard, right? Like I can't, no. You have to understand it's about the work. It's really about the community. It's really about being able to protect people. It's about being able to, like there was so many stories I came up with. But really I wanted a whistle. Like, man, I learned a whistle swing, wrap it around the finger, whip it back around. That was, oh man. And I had one key. Man, that key would hit the whistle and it sounded like, man, walking around, I sound like a prison warden on a pool deck. Oh man, it was so funny. I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. I'm remembering stuff and I'm getting off of the point. So here's the point. When I wanted to become a lifeguard, one of the things that I had to understand was that there is a process to being a lifeguard. And so I just thought I could show up. I'm like, I can swim. How hard can it be? And so I started asking questions. I started speaking to people and some of the lifeguards who were there about the requirement for the age. And you could be a junior lifeguard at like 16, and then you could, at that point, you become a full-fledged lifeguard at around 18 and stuff like that. So this is the summer. My birthday's in September, so this is the summer after I turn 18. I go out, starting to do the lifeguard thing. And so you have to be certified. You have to have CPR certification. You have to have swimming certifications. You have to meet certain goals. You have to be able to do certain things. And so I didn't grow up wealthy. Like, I ain't got no pool in my backyard. Like, every time I go to the pool, I got to pay. And that little $2.50 that it costs wasn't always easy for me to come up with. So my thought process began with, how do I become a lifeguard? And so I started researching, well, how do I do this? How do I get in? How much time do I have to practice? How much do I need to blah, 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 blah. And I'm doing all of these things. And my mother said, well, why don't you go apply? She said, they're hiring at the rec center. Why don't you go apply? And I'm like, well, you have to be able to pass the test. And then after you pass the test, she was like, go apply. I'm like, well, no, because if you're not a lifeguard, you have to become a lifeguard and you have to do all these things and take these classes, and I haven't done any of the things and take these classes. And my mama, in her wisdom, she was like, boy, go apply, right? So I finally do. I finally go up and I'm like, hey, I would like to be a lifeguard. And they were like, cool. And then they started asking me the questions that were in my head. Like, do you have any experience? Ever been a lifeguard before? Participated in this? Have you done that? And I'm like, the answer to all of these things are no, I have not. They were like, fine. What? So listen now, listen, keep in mind, people, what we're talking about here is the difference between taking action, right, to do something versus trying to remove something. We're talking about the things we add to our life to go versus the things we remove from our life, right? And at this moment, it's about getting started, okay? It's about stop putting roadblocks in front of yourself. Stop the, oh, well, I have to stop doing this in order to be able to do this. I have to stop doing this. No, you need to start doing the thing you need to start doing. They say, yeah, it's cool. I'm like, what do you mean it's cool? They were like, okay, so lifeguard course costs this much. CPR course costs this much. There was another course that you had to take. They said cost this much. There was a swimming instructor course that cost a certain amount of money. I'm like, I don't have any of that money. They say, don't worry about it. They say, you take the course. If you pass, we cover all the costs, right? This was a county swimming pool. They were like, you take the course, we teach them here, you pass, we cover all the course, and you get paid for the time you spent in the courses. What? They were like, yes, you pass, we pay for the courses and you get paid for the time. If you don't pass, we give you a second time to take all of the courses. This time, when you pass, we still cover the cost. Your second time to the class, we still cover the cost, but you have to get hired in order for us to pay you for it. Meaning, the first time you go through and you complete it the first time through, all of those people are automatically hired. They cover the cost for the courses that you've taken, and they pay you for the time that you spend taking the courses. Now, keep in mind, some of these courses are like, CPR is like a 1-day, 4-hour training. One of the other courses is like a 1-day training. The actual lifeguarding course and the different ways to dive into the pool versus run into the water, how to do the saves, swimming the length, doing the training. Those take a couple of weeks. But again, we're talking 2 or 3 hours a day for a couple of weeks. So they cover the cost and they pay you for it. And so for me now, I'm understanding I just need to get started. I need to take the action. I need to, go apply. Go get started. And so now it's about getting it done. And they make it so hard for you to fail. They make it because this is what you have to understand. For most of the things that you want to do in life, somebody else is benefiting from your success. Most people don't want to see you fail. Because if you do, it hurts them. This is why they say, don't give pearl to swine. Because there's an understanding that I can give you something of great value, and if you don't appreciate it and you don't know what it is, you are still going to treat it with disdain and disregard. It's not going to amount to anything. It won't grow because you don't know what's in front of you. You don't know what you have. And we are standing here with what we have is called opportunity. We have a whole life to be living. It starts with discipline. And step 1 to discipline is you must get started. No, I do not expect for you to be consistent in the beginning. If this is your first day running, if this is your first week running, My expectation is not that you're going to go out there, you're going to run a mile, you're going to stretch appropriately, you're going to eat appropriately to recover, you're going to drink, you're going to get up, you're going to put on your favorite David Goggins motivational speech, and you're going to hit that next mile and knock 13 seconds off your time. No, you're going to go, you're going to run and walk and run and walk. You're going to get to the end of it, and you're like, this is the dumbest thing in the world. You're going to complain, you're going to argue with yourself, you're going to say, I don't need to do this. You're going to go through all of those things, and then maybe for some people, for a very single-digit, small percentage of people, they'll get up and go out and do it again. For most people, it's going to be 3 to 5 days before they see it again. Yeah, you know what a run walk is. Whew, whew, whew. You know what a run walk is. Y'all see the run, man, I've done the run walk. Don't y'all, listen. I've done the run walk. So what I'm sharing with you is this. No, I don't expect you to get out there and be an Olympic athlete at it. But get started. That's the repetition. Okay, go out, take a run. You know what's easier to do than distance? I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna stay active for the next 15 minutes. I'm gonna jog some, I'm gonna walk when I have to. I just need to finish this 15 minutes. Boom, do it, finish it. Next time out, okay? It's a manageable target. The body wants to be successful. The body rewards itself for being successful. It's the thing that gets you out to say, hey, I wanna do it again because I was successful. You go do it again. You do another run walk, right? This process is intentional. Good morning, how are you doing? So this process is intentional, right? And so now we're starting to develop repetition. We have to be patient. We have to be. We have to be patient where we understand I am not going to be running a freaking 7-minute mile tomorrow, but I'm going to keep getting up and keep showing up. It's what I'm going to do. These are the actions I'm going to take. I don't even know if I'm running right. I don't know if I got the right shoes. I don't know if I'm choosing the right distance or the right time, but I'm active. I'm doing it. That's how discipline starts, with repetition. We must get started. And then we learn along the way. It is the same thing with your finances. How much money should I put aside? What should I invest in? How much crypto should I buy? Should I do trading? What's the best time to get Bitcoin? And then you have people out here, and this is the difference between what we do here and what they do in other places, is you have people out here who will tell you, in the next 6 months, I have the top 10 strategies that are gonna give you a way to absolutely change your life. Okay. You're right. Okay, let me see. $350. Here's the first thing we need to do, people. You need to understand, and then it's the whole praise and worship service, the whole testimonials of all the people who have experienced the greatness. You know what YouTube is? You remember you're here in America, you might remember Benny Hinn, the old Christian traveling evangelist. They have these shows that used to come on TV late at night. Some places still do. And they come on and they get these people to come out and do these testimonies. Oh, let me tell you. And they start giving these testimonies about their experiences and about how things were bad and how they came up and how God saved them. And without the blessings of this minister, I would not have been able to do it. Wouldn't have been able to do it. This outreach to bless and help people. And then they go out there and they say, hey, give me all of this. Help me with this. And then they get the testimonies, and then they do the praise and worship with the songs, and then they do the preaching. And then they take up tithes, and then they do more talking, and then they take up offerings, and then they do more preaching, and then they gather more money, and they gather more money, and they ask for, hey, guys, let's take a moment. I know the structure of it. They teach it to you in theology. They teach you the principles of how to get up in front of people and speak so that you can get the most out of them. And they do it by saying, the method is, say what you're going to say it, say what you said. That's the approach. It's basically a 1-3-1 approach. And the reason they do it that way is because they understand this rhythm gets a response from people. And then they use that to say, hey, let's put some money in. We want to take this message further. Help us further this message. If this has touched you, if this has touched your heart, now is the opportunity. You see right in front of you the opportunity to help us move forward. We appreciate all that you do, but you say you love, but you're not loving with all you got. What are you holding back from God? They will guilt you into giving. This is the new YouTube. This is the new YouTube, especially when it comes to the church of finances. And I'm telling you, nothing that they tell you is achievable without discipline. If they are not teaching discipline, there is zero expectation that you're going to achieve the goal. Zero. It doesn't matter what someone is selling you or telling you. If they are not sharing with you the requirement for discipline, which starts with repetition, you must get started and you must do it over and over again so you can learn it. You have to be patient, understanding it's not going to happen today. When you do it long enough, your body will ask you, whatever it is you're doing, your body will ask you why we're doing this. And this is where most people fall off. This is why most people never get to consistent. Because when the question becomes why, they don't have one. They don't have a purpose. They don't have an objective. They don't have a thing that they're looking for. They don't have any of those things. And so the why falls off. The consistency never develops because consistency requires an objective, because consistency has to be graded. You have to grade something in order for it to even be thought of as having the ability to be consistent. So what do we understand? We understand that everything that we do, everything that we talk about, everything that we try to achieve requires for us to take action. And we have to do it with discipline, repetition, patience, consistency, and perseverance. The first two are so hard for so many people. First step, let's just get started. Do it again. Okay, I went running yesterday. I feel tough today. Okay, I get it. Well, listen, look, you might not go out and run, but you can be active today. Let's take the steps at work. Let's stay on our feet in the house. Let's walk. Let's keep in mind that we're doing it. We're moving. Okay, you're not running today. I get it. Let's stretch. Let's do some dynamic movements in the house. Okay, let's take action. All right, you missed a couple of days. Let's get back on it. Don't worry. It's not about consistency yet. It's about understanding that you've decided to go somewhere. And it's not about, I need to stop watching so much Netflix. No, you need to start moving with your Netflix. Put your Netflix on your phone. Let's walk. Okay? Like, here's the thing. We're going to get there. But it's not about the things we remove, it's about the things we add and how we take the action. Repetition, you follow that, you couple that with patience. Your body is going to ask you why we're doing it. You need to be able to figure out a why. You need to be able to understand I'm doing this because it goes towards a bigger goal. It's serving a purpose in my life. I'm achieving something. And here's what that thing is. You need to be able to define it. Because once you can, now you're in a position to say, okay, I have a why. Now these actions that I take have to have some type of consistency. Okay, I get it. I'm not going to run every day, but I'm going to run twice a week. I'm going to run twice a week. Now I'm taking action. Hey, I've done some more research. Turns out weight loss is 90% driven by my diet. So I don't need to stop eating food. I need to start eating better food. I need to develop a plan for my diet. I need to work on being true and taking action based on my diet. There are actions I need to take. So I need to prep my meals. I eat better when I prep. Why do we eat chips? Why do we eat snacks? Why do we eat popcorn and cookies? Why? Because they're easy. We can grab them. And they have genetically modified it for it to hit that freaking part of your tongue. Listen to me, people. I don't want y'all cannot use this against me later. Popeye's freaking chicken. I want to share with you something. Popeye's chicken, there was an angel like that sprinkled like some wing dust in the Popeye's Cajun chicken. Talk about something I need to stop doing. I'm giving Popeyes all of this freaking free advertisement. I don't know what part of the taste bud that Popeye's chicken hits. Man, but it hits it on me every time. You talk about somebody, you talk about, listen. Yeah, man. So, anyway, what I'm trying to say to you is this. Right? We all got our opinion. Popeye's chicken is, man, for me, look, you can pay me in Popeye's chicken coupons. I'm sorry. Here's what I'm saying. When we start talking about taking actions and we figure out that our diet is a large part of losing weight, like you just said, yes, we need to start cooking. We need to start implementing behaviors that are going to start to take that time. Because now when you say I have to eat healthier, it's not about I have to stop eating cookies and drinking sodas. It's not just about that. Because if you buy them and they're in your house, then you're going to eat them and drink them. So it's not about I need to stop buying them. I need to start buying healthier alternatives. I need to start buying the foods and the drinks that are actually going to go towards providing a healthier lifestyle for me. Oh man, these cost less. This case of water costs less. These healthier snack options cost less, and I eat them less because they're not filled with ingredients designed for me to want to eat freaking 2 family-sized bags of Doritos. And so we start to understand, okay, I'm taking action. I'm doing things that are moving me positively towards the objective that I'm trying to achieve. Pay me in biscuits. Y'all silly. Here's the thing. Yes, we do fry our own chicken, y'all. You can actually see over on our family channel, the baby birds. My wife and I fry our own chicken up in the house. It's got a great flavor to it. It's wonderful. We make it together. A couple of different ways that we try to batter it. I also like putting things on the grill. I love grilling. Reduces the amount of fat, the freaking flavor. I don't care if it's charcoal or fire. If you season it appropriate, the flavor is absolutely awesome. Welcome, PA. Nope, I'm not in PA. Maybe you're talking to someone else. Healthier doesn't cost less. It does cost less when you consider the amount of consumption that you make, right? So healthier costs less because when you start to eat healthier, the urge to eat more goes away, right? When we start talking about filling foods like apples and bananas and bananas and yogurts. We start talking about these things that we eat. When we purchase them, that purchase point for an ounce of these things may be higher than a purchase point for an ounce of something else. But here's the key. The purchase point for an ounce of that thing is going to fill you up more and go longer, and it's not going to give you the urge, like I just said, to eat a whole family-sized bag of something. And so when we start to calculate the fact that, hey, I'm eating less, I'm paying a little bit more for this item in the front, but I'm eating less. I'm better able to control my consumption and my food intake because of how the manufacturing of the healthier items happens, then we're making changes. Facts. Processed fats sit in the stomach. They are harder to digest, but they also encourage us to go out and eat more of it. The salt, the flavoring, the salty and sweet, it encourages us to go out, eat more of it. And even though it sits in our stomach and it's hard for us to digest, it does not give us a sensation of being full. Right? Starches make you feel really full if you have healthy starches. And there's a way to have those and have carbs. That's a whole of a conversation. But we'll be able to have that conversation later. And so here's the thing. What are we talking about? We're talking about the actions that we take. We're talking about taking actions and doing it with discipline. When it comes to the development in any area of your life, step one is to get started. And then these other things that we're doing right here are the other steps, right? People pay for food with money they earn. They usually aren't too out of shape. When you eat for free, meaning welfare, you feed, you overdo it. That's a whole other conversation, but I'd like to have it at some other time. I might even make that whole thing a walk and talk. So here's the thing. The thing that has to be important for us, guys, and this is the thing that I'm trying to get to. And I got to finish up here. And happy AM birthday to my wife. It is 6:16 in the morning. My wife's birthday is 6:16. And so twice a day she gets a birthday. She gets an AM birthday at 6:16 in the morning and a PM birthday at 6:16 PM. I want to take this moment, guys, to say happy birthday to my wife. It's not 6:16 everywhere, but it's 6:16 where I am. So it was at least for that 1 minute. So here's the things that we're trying to get to this morning. Here's the thing I'm trying to share, people. Discipline is not about the things that we stop ourselves from doing. Discipline about the things that we implement and start to do at a high level. Starting with repetition. And the repetition of something is simply saying, I'm getting up and I'm ringing the bell. No, I'm not perfect at it. No, I don't know how to do it at the highest degree. There are so many things about it that can be missing, but I'm doing it. I'm not consistent with it because I don't know it well enough to be consistent. I haven't figured out how my body is going to respond, how I need to recover. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's fitness. It doesn't matter if it's your finances. Hey, how are you investing? There are so many different ways to invest. There are stocks, so there are bonds, there are mutual funds, there's trading, there's sales, there's selling short, there are options. There are so many different ways in which you can make money. Okay, so which one are you doing? I don't know yet because I haven't figured out what to do with this yet. And I'm, okay, fine, well, let's do this. We understand in order to do it, we're gonna be investing our money. Let's start moving our money to a place where we can invest it. And so let's just start to learn the discipline of taking care of our money. And it's not about, hey, stop spending your money on things. It's about, hey, intentionally put your money in a place where it needs to be. It's not about stop frivolous spending. It's about starting to positively invest. Mr. Mulatto, welcome in this morning, brother. Good to see you, man. Always good to see you. South Carolina, welcome in. So, when we start to take into consideration that this is how things work, when we start to take into consideration and have our understanding that we need to start to implement positive behaviors and take these steps daily to move us forward, we'll start to see that positive outcome that we're looking for. We'll start to see the results of that. And so as that continues to grow, what we're going to start to see next is we're going to see that we now have the patience and now we have a better understanding of how to do it, which is why I say, if you are not in a position, if you have not started to invest money, if you have not started investments, if all you have, even if you're taking money out of your paycheck and going into your 401k and your company's doing it for you, in order for you to really grow in the financial sector, you have to set up a budget. The best way to set up a budget is to take one small step. Don't stop spending your money on something. Start spending your money on the right thing. And so start taking your money, and it's out there. It's easier than it's ever been. Open one of these accounts that allows for you to put money in it to buy stocks. You don't have to buy stocks yet. Most of them give you money just for putting it there. Start doing that every day. Even if you start with $1 a day. $1 a day is $30 on the average month. $2 a day is $60. $3 a day is $90. $4 a day is $120. And we start to multiply that. We start to grow that. I don't want you to take $120 out of your check and put it in there all at once, because what we're working on is discipline. And step one to discipline is repetition. And repetition requires for you every day to get up and take a look and say, hey, I need to put $1 in my account. I need to move $2 in my account. Don't wait for your app to do it for you. Don't wait for these apps that say, hey, we'll take the change, round up, and move that over into an investment account, because you don't develop discipline from that. That is passive. In order for you to develop the discipline, and this is why I recommend it this way, you take the action. You take the action, you get started. You do it, you move it daily. Why? Because in the future, you're going to understand that this discipline that you've developed with learning to do something with repetition and patience and watching it grow and becoming consistent and then persevering through the times when it was tough, the times when, do I buy my food or do I make my investment? You have to buy your food. So where's the money that I needed for my investment? Let's figure that out. What do we do with it? Are we paying too much for our phone bill? Are we paying for a phone service that we really don't need? Because we have to understand we're trying to build our future. Man, I just like watching football. I like watching football too. Man, I just like having a coffee every once in a while. I like having coffee too. You know how we cut down on the cost of our coffee? We put it in the house. We got a blender and we got ice. Make smoothies in the morning. It's right there. Costs us a lot less. Saving a mint. But here's the thing. We have to be intentional about the behaviors we take. It's not about saying, I'm going to stop going to get a latte in the morning. I'm going to stop going to get a frappe in the morning. It's about, I'm going to start taking the actions that reduces the cost of me having these things. And so, I got to get up a little bit earlier. I got to wash a little bit more dishes, but I have the thing I want and I'm making it. And now I also have the money that I need to continue to transfer the $3 a day into my future, versus transferring this $8 a day into somebody else's future. Because you have to understand your money is feeding somebody's future. It's either feeding your future or the future of the people you're purchasing from. This is what I mean about discipline, repetition, patience, consistency, and perseverance. Once we put them in the right order and we start doing them, and you have to do it. And if you want to move to the next level, you want to start seeing some changes in what's happening in your life, and how to be able to do the investments and put the money in the right place, start to join the membership. Become a part of the conversations that we have directly about how we use this discipline to make changes in where we are and to see ourselves grow. As always, guys, I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to appreciate the time that you took in allowing for me to share with you and speak with you. I want you to go out. Today is Tuesday. Today, I need you to go out and understand that I don't want you to look at any area of your life and say, I need to stop doing something. I need you to go out today, and I need you to look at in any area of your life and say, what behavior do I need to implement? What do I need to start doing in this area? Not what do I need to stop doing? As you go out today, I don't care if it's in your faith, your finances, your family, your career, your job. I don't care what area it is. I don't care if it's in your fitness. I don't care whatever it is. Look at it. Take time. Sit down. Spend about 5 to 10 minutes. Choose one area of your life. Choose one area and say, what do I need to do in this area right now? Not what do I need to stop doing. Not what do I want to see go away. what do I need to do? Where do I want to go with this? And what do I need to do to get there? What's the actions I need to take? And then take that action. Start taking it. Today is the day we start to see the growth. Thank you so much, Don, for that gift. I appreciate that. I want to thank you all again for being here. I want to thank you for taking the time to stop in to allow for me to share. And as always, guys, as you go out into your day, today is Tuesday. It is now 6:24 in the a.m. As you go out, I want to let you know, keep showing up, keep blowing up, keep growing up. Until next time, guys, God bless. You guys have a great Tuesday.